that one down. Oh, this is fun. This is interesting. Hold on, I've just got to set this. Hi, Leanne. How are
Hello, my camera
you?
just about fell off. I'm good, thank you.
I had everything
Just
set up
readjusting
to,
my camera.
yeah, well, I had everything set up to go, but then with the 4 screens, I forgot I actually needed to have that the second camera out of it for the start. Just plain forgetting, so that I changed the scene, and there we've got a lovely purple background, this time from the Studio 2 of BeLive.tv. So that's what we're using. We have
It is pretty.
Jessica Hunt, and that's why I've actually done that smaller so that we can see them, but realising the branding is a bit different as you look at it. Hi, Nicole.
Hey, honey.
Because we can actually see our names in the background. So what I'm going to do is do the turning off our names, because I think most people will know who we are by now. Don't you think?
Yeah.
And we've got Natasha who's here. Hi,
Hey, hon.
Natasha. I'll just run through a few of these good mornings, and we've got Sarah and
Good morning,
Michelle. Good morning.
Michelle.
So at least we know that we are on the My Time TV page going live. It is working. For those, just as a reminder, for those who are on my page, which is Hypnosis Plus with Ros, if you're commenting there, you'll need to actually move over, click into the mytimetv.live. For the one that is Leanne Winston Psychic Medium page, you'll need to do the same. Click at the mytimetv.live link so that you get here, and then I see your comments in the chat stream thing there. And where else did we put it? To the live video hub.
Live Hub.
And somewhere else. Anyway, if you're not on the mytimetv.live, I won't see the comments because I cannot monitor all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And hi,
It's too many
Louise.
pages.
Oh, there it is.
Hey, Louise.
And
Hope you're well, honey.
we have Paris. Hi, Paris.
Hey, Paris.
And it's just a reminder, really, of the way that the technology works now. We have so much in our hands that we can do this type of a live stream broadcasting, and sharing time with people to actually even be that small amount of help with readings and information and all that sort of stuff. But how quickly over the years that it's become a point of becoming so impatient because we're not getting things instantly. So do you find that?
Oh, yes. I always want everything 3 days ago. Never, I'm not a very patient person, and I really dislike saying that, be patient, to people in their readings as well, because I think I'm the worst person to say that, because, my husband gets frustrated when I set my mind on something. I've got to make it happen now, not, wait a week or wait a month. He just gives up and goes, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and I was just going to say good morning to Taylor. There are some questions coming in now. And certainly, hi, Shaz. We've already had a very short little combo this morning. So even that,
she's in Northern Territory.
Yeah, she's
beautiful.
Tennant Creek visiting family.
Oh, that's right.
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the thing, even in that phrase that I used just then, we had a very short little combo. I mean, combo being conversation. How much we've actually shortened things, created acronyms, created little short words for what is in English conversation, is the bigger words that creates the flow of the language that we know and learn, to being so short because we're so short on time, really.
And I think as we're getting older, we're getting worse with the time, the time reference sort of thing. I know I am. Well, I'm timely poor.
Yeah, it is. And I think we have become used to our technology. we have become addicted to our technology, because how many of us would actually say we could leave our phone at home and go out for the day?
Oh, I'd be
Who
lost
does?
without it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many times in that time do we look at our social media?
Yeah, exactly. I must admit, I have been a little bit slack when it comes to social media lately, only because I've been so busy with the expos and everything like that. So there's a lot of background, and the workshop on the weekend, there has been a lot of background work that's needed to do. But at the same time, I have moments where I can't, and this is going to sound really weird, I kind of get sick of being around people. You get over people, so to speak. Now, I don't mean individuals, as to say, it's more about, because you're doing this work, you've got everybody around you, but you've also got that in spirit. So it constantly gets to the stage that you feel at times you don't have any space to yourself. And that's where I'll retract and I'll go quiet on social media or the phone. I deliberately will leave the phone in the car or at home, but not for a day. If it's only a couple of hours, that is different. And knowing that I know where my children are, and that they can get dad, they can't get mum, sort of thing. So
interesting,
so
though,
it's setting
isn't
my
it?
boundaries in that sense. Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
I did
So, but
see.
it's fine.
I don't remember how many days ago, but it was in the recent time span in my life. Was on the Facebook, of course, because I do spend a bit of time on it. Just checking through occasionally. I don't spend all day like my daughter thought I does do. Anyway, it was just a prone person laying on the floor face down, and it just said, "I'm all peopled out," and I'd shared it. I just loved that
I
one.
love
I
it.
thought, I'm all peopled out. You get to that point.
And
So,
and I think it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. We all get to those stages at times. So it's not just this industry. It's, probably a lot of things that people do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And looking at this, shared the love. Thanks, Michelle. And it just flipped through my mind. I mean, it's great to share to those who are appropriate, to friends and people that you know would actually appreciate. Did I turn it off yet? Appreciate having the notice to say, look, we're live. So do that. I mean, there's no requirement to share, to have your questions asked or anything at all like that with us in this show. Not an issue. It is, even though in this studio too, I wasn't able to do the full description I normally do, where it says potluck. It's like the potluck dinner, as far as what are readings or who's picked for them or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a potluck. Good morning to Danita and Vanessa here as well. It really is that we're spending time sharing with the feeling of sharing with friends, and the occasional, oh yeah, that one attracts, I'll answer that one, or things like that. I think it's just that going with the flow. It's that feeling of letting things happen as they do. And whoa, I like this comment. Now, this one is a bit big. It shows up quite small, actually, on the screen compared to the previous version. So Shaz was chatting to a friend from Thailand. She was having so much trouble with the Aussie language. How are you going? She was wondering the answer by bus.
I love it, Sharon.
But isn't it funny how there is that assumption that our own language is understood by everyone that speaks English, when in other places, like Asians, well, any other mother language speaking person that's learning English, the context of how we speak is totally different to how they do. And misunderstandings can be that simple. How are you going? By bus? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I like that.
That is.
Yeah.
And yet the more we start to work and connect with other people from other cultures, it is amazing seeing the language difference. So yeah, that's great.
And we've got someone else who's shared, so thank you.
Thanks, Paula.
please do so for those you think really will appreciate saying, being part of just a live chat that goes with the flow and the occasional reading or not. I have spent, there's Danita. I think we had something there before from Danita, probably that I showed up the comment.
You did say it, but I don't think it came up.
Oh, okay. There's Emily's. It takes a little bit with this, it's slightly new back end, the Studio 2, for those that don't know the system. So it does take me a little bit extra time to actually follow the stream. Somehow I don't know where the timestamps went. They were on the previous one and I can't see them unless.
You got to run your mouse over the comment in the sideline.
Yeah, and do you know what it's showing up?
Up?
Do you know what it's showing up to me, Leanne?
What's it doing?
Every single one of them is 9:30, 9:30, 9:30. So guess what? I can't tell.
It's stuck on 9:30, but it's 10:41.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it.
So I thought, well, that's not doing anything, and there's not the numbers showing of what number we've got viewing or anything. So, I mean, there's still some tweaks that need to happen in the background, and that's fine. And
that's the thing, it is a new program, so we expect there to be issues, but it's running a lot more smoother than it was a month ago when we were beta testing it. So
and the beta testing was fun actually, because I had a little bit earlier timeline than what some others had in the beta testing. Certainly it's been heaps improved from what that was. Just looking at some of the comments, fun. Now, what I've actually done in the background today too, that I'll try to use, and I actually brought my, the dogs are barking at people walking past, sorry about that. Because I'm on a portable table, if it's shaking, it's not just me laughing, I could be wobbling the table. So what I've been able to do is add in my webcam. So I've got that. Now you're seeing me, seeing you, type of thing.
And your lovely coloured ball.
See how it matches the screen? Now let me see if I can get that back to what it was on the screen. So I can actually, hopefully, have this with less. Now I've got it mucked up. I had it absolutely perfect there too. See, that's what you get for trying to be perfect. No. Is that about right? Oh, it's close enough. Close enough.
It's good enough.
So that is how I've set that one up.
I love your little makeshift things.
Which way?
It's so cute.
It's one of those things too, when you're actually in a position that you don't want to spend any more money. I've got the setup that I actually like with the Mac. And yes, both my laptops died, the MacBook Pro and the little one that I had of Dad's. It just won't boot up. So there's two laptops gone. I don't want to spend any extra money on getting another one. So this is Tony's, and it's a Windows 10, thank goodness that it is recent enough, but it's not brand new. I can run the shows from this, so that's really good and convenient. So I'm borrowing, nothing wrong with that. But the little those cameras that are in a computer, in a laptop, tend not to be as good as webcam is. So it's making do with what you can get, what you already have, and I'm fully portable with this. I'll be doing it again tomorrow morning for my daily reading. So.
And that's the thing, you're in between sort of three places at the moment, so you can fly.
It's exciting, isn't it? Now,
it is.
With this and the screen how it is that the way that people would like to watch it? I'd like to actually have opinions on it. And that's another way with the little screen. See, for me, that probably is going, oh, what a nice one to pull. Is the heart. Now, for me, that might be a bit small for anyone to see it. I've got to go down the bottom and watch. Where's the bottom on this? I'm scrolling the wrong way. I'm scrolling the wrong way. Oops. So to me, that's a bit small. So this one might be the way. And then the both of us are on screen all the time while we can comment on a card if it needs to be, or we can still do the solo, like I'm putting new solo now. And this is another one of those issues of, the seconds that it takes for this to load into the screen. Now you're on the screen. Now the public will be able to see it because there is that time delay. And you understand what I'm saying with that, don't you, Leanne?
Yeah, definitely.
And
now we have
my solo. And oops, now because, how do I do that? How do I get that other one? I've got a little thingy in the wrong space. Hang on, if I unsolo that, then I can, I can't solo my cards because, that bar on the left-hand side is totally obliterating the little thing that I can do it with. It's not, bugger. Well, we'll have to go with this. Now, love the card set up, Ros. So there's a comment. Thank you for that.
I think that's the best way.
Yeah. And this one, I like the half screen card and quarter for each view. Yeah. So I think that's what I'll actually leave that on for now. I don't think I can get rid of the border on that It has to, we will be seeing that
but
purple.
The way I'm seeing it, the card is just sitting under our names. It's like the names are sitting on top of the card. So I think it's perfect the way it is.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back now for those who have been patiently waiting to see if we're going to do some readings.
I love it.
I've explained it all. And do please, for those who, just a reminder, for those who are on the other pages, like the Live Hub, Video Hub, whichever one, whatever that's called, the Hypnosis Plus with Ros, the Leanne Winston Psychic Medium page, and there's another one, isn't there, that we...
Body, Mind and Spirit.
Body, Mind and Spirit. So please do make sure you are clicking into the mytimetv.live link so that we can see any comments. Now, this is going to be a bit more of the random. I've started at the top of what I've got as the list, and I will work down so that the first comment that we've got that is a question is from Kathy. So, hi, I'm at work feeling lost and hurtful with my partner who's not living with us. I need guidance, and all I need is for him to say sorry so that I can heal. Please guide me. So it's sad that some relationships are like that, but yes.
Yeah. And I just get, honey, he's not in a space at the moment where he is ready to say sorry. So I do feel that he is very much in his own head. And I get the reference to he's not seeing the bigger picture at the moment. So, but in saying that, I also feel that you need to get to a place that you can be at peace knowing that is him and the way he is. So I just feel this is a little bit of a journey at the moment that is needed. As much as it's painful, I do feel that there will be growth that comes from that. Okay?
Yeah.
Things will get better.
And that card is the clouds from the Lenormand deck. It is working from, I might just see if I've got my Apple Pencil. I do have. It's working from this is the way that I've always seen this card. It's working from that dark and into the light, and there is the freedom in seeing those birds there, being able to fly free and choose as you need. So that's what I get from the card for you.
Well, something drew me to pick up my lemon deck to see what comes out as well, and I got the heart.
I wanted to do
love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. They were vibrating on the shelf. It was like, I don't normally use cards too often, but they were just vibrating there on top of the others. I went,
wow.
Okay.
I like that.
It's come out.
Yeah. And Natasha, you're asking, I have my in-laws in town. My hubby's been ostracised by them. Will they surprise him and visit him so he can heal? That wasn't the last one, was it? Another partnership relationship.
So, just while you do that, I'm going to pick up the cards off the ground. I get the feeling that it's stirred up a lot of energy for him at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just trying to reread Yeah, I have my in-laws in town. My hubby's been ostracised by them. Will they surprise him and visit him so he can heal? Um, what I've got there, and I'm actually feeling guided to pick the two. So it's whether they fit on the screen or not, I don't know. But the dice is, oh, they do pretty much. Dice is,
Yeah.
it almost is that potluck feeling. I think it's really that it's more a decision that it's not up to them to have your husband heal, it's up to him. And
Yeah.
any decisions that he needs to be making around his own mind, I wouldn't say mindset because I think that's almost too harsh. It's almost around whether he's wanting to choose to love, and it's to do with some love I'm feeling as far as that self-love, and then working it through into the connections that he has with your parents, with his parents. When you say in-laws, it's your in-laws, so it's his parents. So it needs to have some healing for himself first. So it is more self-love and unbelieving some of what he was told when he was in his youth, in those upbringing years, so that he can actually acknowledge for himself that anything that he decides, and this is what the moon is, it is about your own decisions of what you want to bring forward and in the moment, to be able to be the shining, the focus, the what you're actually going to put your attention to. So if that's what he feels that he needs to be doing, is to work through that process, that's what will happen. But it can be a bit of the roll of the dice at the moment.
Yeah. And I'm with Ros there as well, because I feel like it can go both directions. But at the same time, I was also taken to what he's feeling at the moment. Part of him wants to connect with him. Part of him, he doesn't want to, because I also feel that he is blocking that visit in a degree, because I do get there's a lot of emotional pain around that at the moment. So to me, it's the feeling he's taken it on, which is totally understandable. But at the same time, I also get, and the cards that jumped out on the floor, there was 4 of them, and the order I picked them up in was the treading the water, trying to keep his head above water. So to me, I feel like he's been doing, the patterns have been there for a while. He's always been sort of treading water, trying to stay just that a little bit above water with that. I also get the unlocking. So to me, I do feel I was drawn more around the heart with that. So I know that's not a heart in the background, but on screen, I feel like I'm looking at a heart in that side of it. So I do get the reference to there will come a time shortly that he will be able to open his heart up and accept the way they are. I do feel that he looks up to him as well, is the what I was drawn to that. And I sort of feel that looking up is going to bring the kingdom the happiness within the family. So I do think it's about also accepting that's just the way they are and it's not going to change. It's their issue, it's not his. So it's just knowing that he can't make that difference, but whatever he does is never going to be good enough for them in that sense. So when he stops fighting that energy and just accepting, I do feel that he's going to find that peace within himself as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I was clearing the cards, this one did fly out before I'd finished. So I think it just focuses on the young man. It's his position first in this instance. So,
Yeah. It all
yep.
comes back to him. It's about him,
Mm.
not them.
So we've got Barbara, who's shared. Hello, beautiful ladies. When my son was in hospital, I stayed with him. He was blind, had brain cancer. He woke up 2 days in a row and asked me who the old man named Arthur was, sitting on the bed watching me. Any ideas who this was? As we have no Arthurs in our family, thanks. I'll hand that one to you. And I'll photo you.
Okay, beautiful. All right, Barbara. So my heart goes out to you with the loss of your son, firstly. I do feel that he is very much at peace, and that is the very first thing I've got there, because I do feel that the brain cancer took a lot of him in that sense, is the way it was put to me. That is him seeing spirit. So Arthur was there to help him with that, the preparation of that transition. Now my feeling is that it is going back to somebody within the family, but I want to go back to generations down the track. So to me, I actually feel like I want to say dad's side of the family with that. So I would be looking further back, not in just the last couple of generations. I feel like I want to go about 5 or 6 generations back, because I get the very old old wise gentleman with that. Now, I don't know if your son had trouble speaking words at times, would get stuck on them through what was going on with the illness in his brain, the cancer, with that side of it. But all of a sudden, I just felt like I was taking on his reference. But I do feel that he was ready to make that transition at that time. So I also got the importance that he wasn't on his own, like he was not alone when he made that. All right. So I do feel there is still a connection through family. All right.
And with the 2 cards that popped out for me for you, the paths, the 2 stairways, it's was at the time that you were talking about the division of family and back into the ancestry, the deeper, because the tree can actually refer to the deeper roots of what is ancestral and that connection there. So very relevant timing for those cards at the time too. So
I reckon I love it.
yeah, thanks for your question, Barbara. Going down to some more. I think I've done all of those hellos. And we'll hit Louise's. We've got, hey ladies, I was wondering for a while if there's any permanent part-time work for me in the near future. If so, when roughly and what kind of work it'll be. I'm getting a yes on that straight away, that there will be.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm drawn to August, honey, around you. So when I say look at what comes up in August, and I do feel there will be a small level of paperwork that comes with that. So maybe a little bit of sort of office work or managing the paperwork within a company.
Oh, goodness. Getting these 2, which is there does need to be something that you need to be dropping, like the cross you bear. Oops, sorry, they're just not behaving because it's the 2. As I'm trying to place place them there. Oh, I sort of got it right. So it's the cross and the coffin. So there's something that's been a bit of baggage or whatever that you've been carrying for a while, and it's what needs to actually be, that part of it. I'll get this. That part of it, there's parts of it that in the ancient Egyptian thing, they took organs out to preserve, to send off with the body for the afterlife. They didn't bury them at the same time because that was part of what their belief system was not to. But it is also, it's a partial death. It's a partial dealing with something, having it finish. So there's something that you need to actually be doing as well yourself to let go of for the permanent part-time in whatever field you're wanting to follow. And I did have the bear as the next, so I'm not sure if that's any indicator of an avenue. It's more nurturing, so that the bear does represent a bit more the mother, the nurturing factor, the strength behind that. So whether you're working with children, do you sense what area she's going to be, what she's wanting to work in there, Leanne?
I just keep getting the paperwork put in front of her, so I do feel like part of her work will be paperwork. There'll be paperwork come across your day in that sense. And I want to put 3 days there. So whether it's 3 days full-time in that 3 days, but I'm just drawn to the number 3. But I feel like August. All right.
And we have now, Nicole has commented, I go into phases of keeping to myself and think it is important to just be with ourselves for a while and think without input. So true. And that's the too much peopling. I think that's in reference to when we're talking about.
And I think sometimes we need that time to do the work on us as well.
Yes.
So
I think so. And it does take some work at times. You hear some people say, oh, that was, what's that? Oh, in reference, just going back to Nicole's as well, how are you feeling? A half left meaning all right. The way that the Australian lingo can be those funny wrong and fun stuff. Like, it's so funny. It does, even in the type of industry that I did a lot of training in. It was self-help, not self-help, what do you call it? Self-improvement type stuff, self-development, actually getting to know yourself. And this was quite a few years ago now, like it would have been in, the turn of the century, so to speak, around the late 90s, early 2000s. It was one of those big things to actually do meditation regularly and actually delve into that inner self. So it's something that for me has become, I wouldn't say my own habit because I've been pretty slack in that part, but it's still, the intention is to actually be listening to that inner being that is the you, to discover some of that. And it does sometimes take work to do that. And we do need to sit by ourselves at times to actually have that self-input, self-discovery as well. Now, Laura's actually asking, hi ladies, I'd love to know when hubby will get a new job.
I was actually drawn to September.
Well, I was thinking, what number is that showing up in my head? And I thought, well, it's my birthday then. So September, it was a 9.
Love it.
It's a funny,
yeah.
funny thing.
I don't know if he's overqualified for some jobs, but I just get the feeling that there's jobs there that he's overqualified for, but at the same time, I sort of feel like he needs to open himself up to other options as well. So whether it's more around focusing on things a little bit outside the box to what he's done in the past, it will come.
All right. I'm hoping you can't hear the dogs. I've got them barking in the background.
We can. That's okay.
Oh, you can.
It is what it is.
It is. And I thought it funny as you were saying that, Leanne. Oh, wrong way, that way. The key turns up, unlock it. The potential for what he's going to be moving into with a new job. The potential is there. It's going to unlock what's next. So it's happening.
And I get when the job comes, it's going to be smooth sailing. So to me, I get the feeling it's heading in the right direction.
Yeah. So Paula is mentioning she's feeling very disheartened at the moment. Bullying, do you see anything for me in work or family? Past, please.
I look at the bigger picture. So, honey, spirit started tickling my nose when Ros was reading out your question. I do feel step out of this energy, honey, with the bullying. Mirror it back at him so you're not taking it on, because I get there's a lot of frustration there with that. But at the same time, it really is wearing you down. People around you are showing you their true colours at the moment, and I think that is going on a lot in the universe currently with that, but it's how we react to it. So I do feel by separating yourself, mirroring that energy back at them, so you're not taking on that bullying and that negative mindset that they're trying to get you into. Now, family, I also feel you need to find your voice at the moment. So whether it's about not being heard, or you're not being heard, or you're not being able to speak up in the way you need to. I'm getting the blocked throat chakra. So when I say start looking at moving that energy, okay? This energy will soon pass. Don't forget, guys, we're in retrograde. There's a lot going on at the moment. I actually shared, Lynn, I think her name is, an astrologer, shared something on her page, and I shared it to my page today, and it gives you quite a depth a lot of depth on what is going on and what to expect on what days. Okay.
Yeah, it is. The Mercury retrograde. Mercury is about communication as well. Having the ring come up, it was just commitment to self, and especially around and in the home and those who you're involved with in your family life. So it really is the focus on committing to yourself, because that's what I've got instantly as I saw that. It's the self, not in that selfish way. It's just standing up in your own energy and communicate that, what you want, in ways that is reflecting your self-love, putting that out there, and committing to self. Your responsibility to do that. So, yeah. So
I've been saying all this year, and I think I said it last year as well, we do need to be selfish. We do need to put ourselves first, but it's not coming out of ego, it's coming out of love. Love for ourselves, respect for ourselves, but also for what it is in that sense. So, the more we focus on us and do what's right rather than getting pulled into everybody else's energies. And I've found myself recently just being pulled back into other people's dramas and stuff too. And I'm choosing to step out of that and focus on what's right for me. So we all do it. We're all human.
And some of those things too, as they come up, they are for the other person to learn, not for us to interfere. It's their responsibility to actually deal with that part for their own pathway, not to have any other input. And at times we do, out of our own love for them, want to help, but in doing that, sometimes that's not helping because it's not what our part of it is meant to be. So it is tuning in and listening to your own intuition, your own gut feeling, and spirit. If you're led by spirit or whatever guidance you use, of course. I mean, it could be that your deep Christian beliefs are still valid. As far as what your belief is, honour it in a way that is about love. If it's not love, that's where I draw the line. So,
And that is a perfect message for me, Ros, because I've been going through some stuff the last week or two as well, sort of thing that's been affected or controlled by others. And I've just gone with the flow. But as you know, Ros, I think I decided a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was going to stick to myself and only let certain people in. But here late last year, I let somebody push their energy onto me, and that's where things went all haywire. But at the same time, everything was about that person. It was quite a negative, what was they classed as a friendship, but I felt it was quite negative in that sense. But I'm now stepping back this week and going, hey, I'm going to stand in my own power again. I'm taking back that. I'm going back to my belief system. And I've got to put me first, not worry about what other people think, because I'm not necessarily having things done right by me from others in that. Does that make sense?
Well, it does to me. The thing around that is really it doesn't have to be an aggressive way of reacting to all those situations or how you want to deal with it. It's just saying, look, no, thank you. I'm looking after what I need to do, where I need to be, and who I need to be connecting with. And sometimes it might seem like the wrong person that's there in the future, that the next step to others might seem like it's the wrong person or otherwise, but it's still the perfect person, the perfect situation that's going to be for your good, to learn what you need to be the best for the whole good, We do lose sight of that whole good sometimes and how those jigsaw puzzle pieces and the web connects.
That's it. I'm a big believer in everybody gets put in front of us for a reason. There are lessons in this reason. Sometimes those people got to come and go as a reminder to look at the bigger picture. So I'm grateful for the opportunities. As much as, sometimes that energy can be a bit unsettling.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
So true, Nicole, and identity.
I'm not keeping
healthy boundaries.
I'm not keeping track of any of what's the current comments. all
I just got my focus on the bottom.
I'm in the moment of actually chatting about something that's actually important in a lot of people's lives, each and every one of us in our lives, actually.
Exactly.
And as Kim's question is there, can you see a new job and relationship in my future? Well, yes, there is, but when is it? I mean, the card itself, it's all relative to what your intention is, where you feel that you're wanting to move into as well, Kim. Because the card of the well, it is actually looking deeply, and the well has the handle. And there is the card that Leanne's got of the whip and the birch. That's about repetition. And it's got a handle. There is some work involved in the job and the relationship. There is always going to be that sort of a balance of looking deeply to understand what you actually do, need or want. The want always comes first, but the next question actually is, What is the need? And sometimes the want really is directing us and indicating to us by spirit that, oh, you want it for that particular reason because it's part of what is your destiny. But then there's the need so that that ego part can be sorted out. Is this want just an ego thing, or is it actually because it is going to be part of my path? Is it the one I need to take? And hey, if you take the wrong step, spirit's going to, or universe or whatever, definitely going to kick you up the arse later on down the track if you've chosen the wrong way, and you'll be redirected. And that's part of that learning and growth and moving forward. Yeah. And that's feeling comfortable in life, because if we get too comfortable sometimes, nothing wrong with being comfortable and having it a bit cruisy, but if we get too comfortable, we're not going to grow, we're not going to move forward because we've stuck and got stagnant. Yeah.
Yeah. And my feeling is a relationship will come, but it's just not the right timing. So what is it that you need to do working on you at the moment, which is what we've just been talking about?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Take that down now. Ready for the next one. I was reading the question without putting it up because it's sort of a long one. Have we had one from Vanessa yet? Because I'm still just
No, we said good morning. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's asked the same question a few months apart and got a different answer the second time to the first. Just wondering if you feel the first or second answer is more correct. Would love a card. Well, can draw a card. Hey, they're both correct.
Yep. And we change things in our lives, so we can change the pathway that we're on. So at the time that you got that first answer, you were heading in a certain pathway. You may have changed directions a little bit, which will bring in a different energy. We all have the power to change our journey.
We're talking about change and journey. There's the ship. That's about travel.
I get you heading in the right direction. So
I'd say yes, it is. It's just that.
Yeah. With you, Vanessa, I actually feel the need to put pen to paper and do some writing. So whether you've got a lot of things in your head that you need to get out, or you've got a lot of ideas that you need to write down, I just get put pen to paper. Just allow it to flow. All right?
Yes.
Wishing all the best with that.
Yeah. And know that, each time, each moment that you're actually present in, it is the right moment. It's the right happening for you. So that's what I like to feel into for myself too. So,
yeah.
And Danita's just saying, have a fabulous day, lovelies. Off to be all magical and stuff. I love being magical and stuff. That sounds exciting.
Lovely. It does. You have a wonderful day too, Anne.
Yeah. Whoops, that went and scrolled funny. Right. Just a reminder too with this, those who are on the other pages, make sure it's mytimetv.live that you're on, connecting into, click into it. And also be as specific as you can with your questions. So the second picture, perfect, with the card on the left. Do you have any messages from anyone past at all for me? Have we done one for Amy? I can't remember.
I don't think so. Doesn't ring a bell.
Perfect with the card on the. Oh no, this was the arrangement of the screen. Do you want me to put that on?
All right. If you want to, that's fine. Amy, I have a gentleman that steps in that feels like he's more of a fathering role with you. So if Dad's still here, I've got his father stepping in, the grandfather reference. Now I get the hand on the heart, and I get there's a lot of wisdom with this gentleman. The hand on the heart for me is a lot of love and pride. I do feel like there's 3 people in spirit around you at the moment as well. I don't know if you get the tickle to the nose a lot lately, but all of a sudden spirit is giving me the tickle to the nose. And when they do that, it's usually my sign to show me that they are with you. They're trying to get your attention. When that happens, look at what's going on in your life at that time. And I always say, trust what you feel, you think, you see, you hear, you know, because that's generally how spirit will communicate with us in that sense. So I do get the reference to look at the month of August, but I also want to acknowledge the number 7 around you as well. So I do feel that there is a lot there. I do feel this is very much a father figure for you, and I get a very gentle soul, a very wise soul at the same time. Please know He knows how much he is missed. He hears you talk to him. So, like I said before, trust back what you feel, you think, you see, you hear, you know, because he is communicating with you regularly. He's giving me a small photo. So I don't know if you carry a photo of this gentleman around with you at times, or you quite often look at the small photo. But I also need to acknowledge a bracelet. So I don't know if you were given a bracelet before this gentleman passed, or you have got the bracelet after. He's wanting to put the bracelet in front of you at the moment. So can I please leave you with his love? Know that you're not very much that you are loved, that you're not alone. He also says, look up at the moon. So I do feel that I'm looking up at the night sky and reflecting as well, or feeling close to him in that way. All right. So, but I just love his smile, his energy. He's gorgeous. Okay. So thank you very much, Amy, for that. Wonderful. And Ross has got the giggles. What'd you do?
I was just trying to find the buttons again to get the old three of us, because I was scrolling on the comments and flip reading, which my eyes don't like. So I'm kicking them it's all a blur, and then I couldn't find the button, and then it took time, you know, that those milliseconds of time that we talked about earlier, you know, how impatient we've become, and I'm waiting for it. I just got the giggles. So there you go.
Love it.
And on that one too, Amy, it was just the card for the mice. I can't remember what Leanne was saying, but as far as that goes, it almost is take advantage of the resources that you've got around you at the moment. You know, feast up, enjoy. You know, even though it feels like you're stealing time or stealing. It just, I love the mouse card. Sorry, and I'll flip already to Nicole's question. She'd like to know her dad's opinion on her life right now and how he sees it going. Anything that he wants to tell her. So,
Amy. Okay. Amy, straight away, as Ros read your question, I got the reference to patience. Okay. So I do feel like it's about being patient at the moment. This energy is going to move. So to me, I feel like you're stepping into a new energy, but it's just allowing this energy that is here now, the hurdles, the frustration to move out. And when you're doing that, things will keep moving forward. You are heading in the right direction. So I do get it's around timing as well, but I'm getting Dad's giving me the wind up. So I don't know what that means to you, but I feel like Dad's hurrying me along in that way. Dad just makes reference, focus on the bigger picture, look at what it is that you are manifesting, because that hard work that you have done in the past is starting to come more to the forefront, but it's about the patience, the timing side of it. So please know Dad's very much around you. There is a lot of love, a lot of pride that comes through, but I also felt that Dad didn't always say those things, but you knew how you felt in that way. And he just told me to pull a card, and I get it's upside down, but yeah, that is the way the card is coming. So I want to say things will start to look brighter very shortly. Okay.
And the rider that popped up from my deck is, you know, the message is happening. It's in progress as far as what you got from Leanne. the hurry up or patience, it's a mix for me, what I'm getting out of it, because the rider, I mean, they do ride past fast, so that's what I'm getting is some of that hurry up but have patience. Yeah, really?
Because he was giving me the wind up, like, hurry up.
Yeah. No.
I love it.
And this next one is from Tara, and it is a health one. So please remember that we are not medically trained. We have some little experience in various areas, but it's certainly not medically trained or qualified. So can you give me some advice or guidance on my health? I'm needing a lung transplant. My odds are against me. So please, am I going to be okay?
Okay. Honey, I do feel, as Ros says, we're not trained in medical, but I do feel that things will be okay. I do get the feeling it's going to be dragged out just a little bit longer, but you will get that lung, okay? So whether you're at the priority list on the top of the list at the moment, I do get the reference to the right. I actually feel like you've been close to this already, but something didn't quite fit. So whether the lung wasn't viable or the match wasn't 100% and they didn't want to take that risk, but I do feel that it will come. Put it out to your guides. Ask your guides to step in. Tell them that you need the lung and you need the good health, and give them the permission to go ahead and do that work for you. And I always like to thank them. So put that clear picture out. Don't let the doubt come in, because that's where that will bring the confusion. So I want to say, have that clear picture, release it to the universe every day. You could even do it day and night if you feel the need to, but also make sure that message is the same. It's a clear, precise message, and don't allow the doubt to come in. Remember to thank them.
Yeah.
All right. And I said you love the healing and love as well. Okay.
And this card is sending peace, because that's what the lilies are about peace. The ancestors that is behind is with you. So, yeah, that's just adding to it. With the intention, also be at peace with that intention too. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Nicole's just given some feedback there. It's not a believer, may not want to talk. This is way back in time before we did the reading.
Is that why I was getting the wind up?
he wanted to get it done and dusted. There's the message. I'm going.
Okay. I get yes to this, honey, but I also feel you need to put yourself first at the moment. So whether you're letting others impact you or have that influence on you, I just get the reference, yes, you're heading in the right direction. Just breathe and ground yourself is the reference I do feel there.
There is the anchor to represent that. So remember, with anchors, they do sometimes take a little bit of time to actually grab and find their hold, because some of the base of the ocean floors can be fairly smooth and not have a place to hold. But this is saying, yes, you'll be anchored. You'll feel that solid, grab, and be able to move, be able to do what you need to, knowing that you're grounded even in stormy waters. Okay.
And when Rod said about the smooth basement of the ocean sort of thing, the not being able to grab onto something, I got the reference to it's about finding you in that sense. So when you find you, that's where you're really going to grab on. All right.
We've got Amanda who's asking, can you please help me in my love life? No. Sorry.
That was quick.
Reaction is basically, really, you need to know what you want in your love life, as in, do you want a partner yet? Is it something that you want to be involved with yet? Is it only about the physical sex or touch or whatever? Really discover for yourself what you actually need, because life, as far as a love life, we need to be self first, have that as your grounding, so that you can then put that out. So sorry for being so blasé about it to start with.
It just rolled off the tongue. So was it yours or did it come from spirit?
Oh, no, I think it came from spirit. It was,
the way it came off the tongue, that's what I was thinking.
And childlikeness in it. So, itself, really discovering for yourself with that childlike mind. Children have that pure love. So until we destroy, I wouldn't say we destroy it with them, but we influence to a point that there's doubt in life. So that's what I think. We need to be rediscovering what is our certainty, what is the love base, unconditional love. It moves us through ways of understanding that we don't have if we start to doubt, if you get what I mean. So that's my word. Oh.
So I want to say, when you do what Ros just said, you're going to find the beauty, the peace in everything.
Well, and that's also about, enjoying gardens, enjoying open space and nature, and, getting back to what is a core thing, even with, self. So.
And it's just something when Ros was talking, something triggered off a thing I actually think I'll put up on my Facebook page as a question to everybody. What is it that we are looking for in life? Do you really know what you're working towards? Do you have that clear picture, or are you just stumbling your way through it at the moment? So it's something to think about. What is that bigger picture that you're working on at the moment? Because I think now is a great time to have that clear picture of what it is we're trying to move into and know in ourselves. Because I think some of you will sit back and go, what am I, what is it that I truly want? I really don't know. So you think about it, when you're putting that energy out there, that is what you are manifesting. That uneasy energy, that doubt, that crazy energy sort of thing. If you have that clear picture and you're putting it out there, that's what you're going to be bringing in. All right. So that's something to keep in mind. Thank you, Ros, for triggering that.
Well, yeah. What more can I say? I think I've said enough on that. It's actually more the inner work that people need to do for themselves.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
that. This is just a comment from Kristen. Morning, ladies. I was hoping I could get some guidance on my relationship. We don't live together and he's been very distant. We've been in a rocky spot for some time. Thank you, love, and light to both of you. I think it's a very similar answer here, and I've already shuffled, and it's almost like moving forward, moving on.
I actually feel like you've outgrown the relationship.
So, you know, it came quickly. Sometimes those answers, even within yourself, you probably already knew it. You just needed confirmation. So good luck with how you progress and how life sends you forward on your journey. So, and do it with trust. Trust in your own instinct, your own intuition, because we have it for ourselves for a very good reason, because it's ours to use as our own guidance in what we're putting out, what we need to be doing in the world. You know, we're not here just to sit around and play games or go through social media or, you know.
And that's the thing, because I felt there was a lot of frustration around that question, sort of thing, in that relationship. And I do feel like because you're seeing that frustration, you are going around in circles. It is about moving forward. Know what it is you want. Look at the bigger picture. The patterns are there.
And have been for a while. Amanda, hi ladies. I have a job interview on Thursday. Can you sense anything for me, please? Whoa.
I do feel that you will get their attention.
Yep. And build a tower. There's your empire. It'll stand well in your spirit. So I'm feeling the same. The sense of strength and building forward what you need for your career. So
remember that nervous energy will keep you grounded, honey. Okay.
Now, this one's from Amy. Did we have an Amy? Have I done an Amy?
Yes, we've done Amy earlier.
So that was Amy Platt, same one?
Because I remember the baby, the gorgeous baby. I think I connected with her dad.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so I will skip past that one and I'll just go further down the bottom, because a lot of the time the bottom ones miss out because it takes so long, because I'm conscious of the time. This will have to be the last one. Now, have we had one from Melissa? I don't even know how far down the track this one was. So, good morning. I think my youngest teenage son's a bit lost and I'm quite worried about him. He doesn't live with me and I'd love to know if he'd be okay or what career path he'll head down. Oh, well, one went and just jumped out.
I love the way they did that. It went to the floor, right? Because that's where mine end up. Honey, I think when I read for you over a week ago that I picked up on your son being a little bit lost, I do feel that he will find his direction and find himself. I do feel there's a bit of intuition to him as well at the moment. So it's surrounding himself with like-minded people. He's good with his hands. He can see the bigger picture in his mind, like someone say, whether it's building or putting things together, but there's a lot of knowledge up here. He just needs to know how to move that energy. Okay.
And being that the ship is travel movement, and all that forward, he will be able to move it forward and build his career. That's the one that I've got, isn't it? Put his head down. He will. It will happen. Yeah.
Just breathe. Trust in him, honey. Trust. He's a gorgeous person. So
whoops. I'm pressing buttons again. Did it work? Yes.
We're jumping around on the screen. I love it on this end.
So it is time to actually move it on to next week. And complete this one first, of course. So thank you to everyone who has been part of the show, who's joined in, who's shared. And it's one of the things that's great with the technology now. It's all recorded, so you can actually go back and watch bits if you feel led to. You can share it with others that they can watch it if they haven't even been able to be on live, while we've been live. So it's a great time to have this sort of technology. It does actually get information out that helps everybody. So just take what you need from it too. It's not saying that every part of it you have to absorb into yourself. It's like anything that we live through. It is using your own intuition, your own gut feeling, your own developing senses and being aware of them and learning from them. Use them as part of what your next steps in life are. Becoming more aware takes work. So, is there anything you'd like to finish on, Leanne?
I just want to say thank you to all those people that have said thank you for their readings and everybody that has shared, because as a lot of you know, I do ask at night time because we get so many comments that people do share the love and let me know that. So thank you very much. I just want to say take some time for yourselves, breathe. Find us again, because I think recently, the last couple of weeks, we've been pulled into a lot of unsettled energy, and I think it's just about breathing, grounding and refocusing again, and focus on what it is we need to do for us. That's what I'm doing. And
especially through a Mercury retrograde where computers and stuff technology might have the instances of mucking up. I was going to say the other word, but I won't because I'm a lady.
I have had trouble with it since Friday morning, and it seems like it's just sorted itself out before coming live.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waiting for a phone call from Telstra about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, look, I'll finish on that. I am going to be a little selfish as host of the show, which I can't. Oh, the stupid thing went and just. I can't single it out. So I'll see if it works this way or not. Does it? You know, nothing wrong with a little bit of a push. So
love it.
Do connect with us when you feel led to, and we have the show next Tuesday, same time, same TV, the channel, mytimetv.live, and hopefully it will be at the 10:30. It will be the mobile set up at the shack. So fingers crossed everything works well, and we'll see you then. Thank you for being part of our show, and namaste. Till then.
Bye. Bye.